Welcome to the Skip and Shannon Undisputed podcast. I'm Joy Taylor. You can catch us Monday through Friday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, 6:30 Pacific on FS1. Here's what this podcast is all about. It's an unscripted, unfiltered, undisputed version of the day's show, and there is a lot to get into in today's podcast. Skip confesses he was sick yesterday after the Cowboys loss, and now on the heels of Jason Garrett's comments, he believes Tony Romo will be the Dallas starter next year. Shannon, per usual, backs his man the King, saying he doesn't care LeBron did not flop last night. Fox Sports NBA analyst Chris Broussard breaks down why last night showed what he has said all along, that Golden State is the best team in the NBA. Our friend Nelly comes by to talk about Julio Jones against the Packers secondary and why LeBron is in trouble. The guys have a great surprise for me as my brother, six-time Pro Bowler and Pro Football Hall of Fame finalist, Jason Taylor, joins Undisputed to help preview the AFC Championship game between the Steelers and the Patriots. Plus, FS1 NFL analyst Chris Carter tells us why right now he is backing Matty Ice and the Falcons in the NFC Championship game. Skip and Shannon, anything?
Happy birthday, Joy! Happy birthday!
Thank you.
We were just funning
You was about to get real petty on us.
I was, yes.
Wow.
That's not a very warm
Happy
opening.
birthday.
Thank you.
Oh, y'all don't have anything to say to me?
You know I'm Queen Patty. No, thank you guys. I appreciate that.
No mercy.
Dak Prescott helped lead the Cowboys to 13 wins in his rookie season. But after being eliminated by the Packers Sunday, head coach Jason Garrett doesn't seem set on Dak being the starter moving forward. Let's take a listen.
I don't want to get into all those discussions right now, and we'll have those discussions as an organization. Dak Prescott certainly did an amazing job for us this year. He probably had the best year a rookie quarterback has ever had in the National Football League, and he handled his situation, his opportunity as well as anybody I've ever seen, both on and off the field. So he certainly has a bright future with our organization, and we'll talk in detail about what Tony Romo's situation is going forward. But make no mistake about it, Tony Romo's been an incredible figure in this franchise's history, and he's been a great player over the last 10 years, and we've all benefited from his play and who he is as a person.
Skip, what do you make of this?
Just made me sick, or I should say sicker. For me, when I heard this yesterday afternoon, it was like adding insult to injury after I had to watch two field goals make it from 56 yards and 51 yards.
Or injury to your insult.
Eliminate, whichever way you want to look at it, because I was in a fog all day yesterday over losing, and then it was like later in the day, when it rains, it pours, and it poured later in the day. Deluge from Jason Garrett. And to me, Jason Garrett was just waiting for the owner to tell him what to say, and the owner hadn't told him yet.
Yep.
And Jerry Jones, we just heard, said on Dallas radio just a few minutes ago that he fully expects Tony Romo to play one day in a Super Bowl, and I'm assuming that he would like that to be for his Dallas Cowboys, and that he fully believes Tony Romo is capable of doing exactly what Aaron Rodgers did to the Cowboys at Jerry World on Sunday, and that if it ever comes to the moment where he does have to make the choice between Romo and Dak Prescott, that, as he said, we will make the right decision, as if that's not even in the cards yet.
Yeah.
So to me, I look at, when I look back at the game at 21-3, I fully expected Jerry Jones somehow to signal down to Jason Garrett and get Tony Romo in the game, because he had said just a couple days before the game that they were fully prepared to put Tony Romo in the playoff game if indeed Dak Prescott struggled. So how did Dak immediately respond to 21-3 down? Just the way he had all year long. He came right out with 3 straight completions, and the second one was 21 yards to Dez Bryant, and the third one was 40 yards to Dez Bryant for a touchdown. How about Romo that? And from that point on, Dak Prescott led that team back, as I said again and again yesterday, all the way to 28-all when he scored the 2-point conversion on a quarterback draw, and then to 31-all. And I thought he played well enough to win a game that obviously Mason Crosby finally won from 51 yards after making a 56-yarder.
Clutch.
So after he was clutch, I got to give it to
Clutcher than your kicker, too.
There were 2 bizarre kicks, and I don't know how they went through. It was hand of God kicks, but I don't know what happened, but they went through. Yeah, they went that way.
Stop
and
it,
then they
Skip.
went that
Stay on
way.
topic. Stay on
I'm trying to
topic.
stay on topic. So let's get this straight. Dak Prescott, with basically Tony Romo looking over his shoulder pads for about half the year, won 11 straight games. And in the games that he started and finished, he went 13-2. And he led the Dallas Cowboys against all odds to the number 1 seed in the NFC. And for all that, you don't get rewarded, or at least awarded, with a nod from your head coach the next day, as in, you're our starting quarterback going into next year. Nope. He didn't get it because the owner doesn't believe he should be the starting quarterback. I don't care what. You can say that Jerry's just playing games here, trying to enhance Tony's trade value by trying to make the NFL world think, well, maybe Tony will be the starter in Dallas next year. I'm not buying it.
Nope.
I think the owner is stuck on Tony Romo. He loves him. He loves his ability, his capability. He's box office. He's a much more spectacular player, high risk, high reward, than Dak Prescott is, and all Dak Prescott does is win games, and I thought, again, that he played well enough to win this one. They didn't close the deal, and that opened or reopened the door for Tony Romo and Jerry Jones to emerge next year triumphant in Dallas, and there's no way Tony Romo can win as many games next year as Dak Prescott did this year.
Skip, I agree with you 1,000%. This isn't Jason Garrett's call. This is Jerry Jones's call. And in his press conference, Jason Garrett says, we'll make that decision as an organization. No, you won't. Jerry Jones will tell you what he's going to do with Tony Romo, and then you'll come out to the media. Well, Jerry will probably beat you to it. Tell everybody he's trading Tony Romo, because I still believe he's trading Tony Romo. Any general manager that thinks that's dumb enough to think that Jerry's going to hang on to Tony Romo just so he can get a third or a second-round draft pick out of the deal, if I'm Jerry, I'm just hoping I can get something. That way I don't have to cut him and have $19 million of dead money on my cap. If somebody gives me a 5th or 6th rounder, wherever you want to go, I'm going to try to get you to where you want to go, Tony. That's what I'm going to try to do. But at the end of the day, as they always do, Skip, you remember how they like they did Tyrod Taylor, Buffalo, they didn't want to have the risk. They made a business decision. At the end of the day, the Cowboys will make a business decision. Now, we can laugh and talk about Jerry, and we give him a hard time. But Jerry's smart, real smart. I'm talking about like MIT when it comes to business smart. And so he's going to make the best decision. Because here's the thing, Skip. As you mentioned, he was 13-2 in games in which he started and finished. Now, if Dak Prescott hasn't answered all the questions, you're asking the wrong questions. Because I don't really know what else he can do. And the mere fact it took him so long before Jerry Jones says he has my vote of confidence and I'm backing him 1,000%. That was what, week 13. What took you so long? I mean, you just see the guy just win game after game in dramatic fashion. Plays for the lead, keeps the lead. Come from behind, go to Pittsburgh, division rivalry in the Eagles, boom, drive, tied up, get the ball in overtime. Eagles, we're not going to even let you touch the football. Pittsburgh, hey, that high-flying offense, you take the lead, guess what? I'm going to make a couple of throws here and there. Zeke hit your head on the goalpost. So whatever they've asked of him, he's done multiple. And now I feel bad. I really feel bad for Jason Garrett, because as a head coach, you would like to think you control some of the things. And I'm sure he does some things. But for the most part, he conveys what Jerry wants to say. If and when Jerry feels it's the need to let everybody know moving forward the direction they're going in with Tony Romo, he'll tell Jason, and Jason will let the media know. But probably Jerry, since he has his own show, Jerry will probably break that news on his own show. But Skip, there's no question in my mind. This young man, I believe he's had the greatest. Now, he didn't win a playoff game like Ben did in his rookie year, but they were a defensive-based football team. He didn't win a playoff game like Joe Flacco did in his rookie year, but they were a defensive-based football team. I believe from what I've seen in all the years that I've played and followed the game, he's had the best rookie year as a rookie quarterback. And no one else had had someone looking over their shoulder. Because when they drafted Joe Flacco, Joe was the guy. When Tommy Maddox got hurt, Coach Kyle the Steelers were never going to look back at Tommy Maddox. They knew he was a stopgap. That's why they took him.
Even Peyton Manning's rookie year, he was definitely the guy. He had a bad year, but he was the guy. He didn't have to worry about getting replaced.
When they draft a quarterback in the first round, there was a reason, because you're saying the guy that we got right now, he's not getting it done. So when they made the move to put the guy in, they weren't going back to Tommy Maddox in Pittsburgh. They weren't going back to whomever in Baltimore.
And they weren't going back to Drew Bledsoe in New England.
No.
Yep.
So
that wasn't Tom's rookie year. It was his second year.
Second year.
Yeah.
And granted, I understand. You drafted Dak in the 4th round. You didn't know what you had. Just like Seattle didn't know what they had in Russell Wilson until you put him in the game. Because you just hope, Skip, when players draft, and I've talked to a lot of GMs, when you draft a player, you just hope the production you see on the field on the tape matches up at the combine, but you really never know until you get him in your building, in your system, and see how he functions. Well, you got Dak in your building, Tony Romo got hurt, and Dak got in there, and he never looked back. It could have hold the fort down with him. If we were saying, Skip, you said, well, if he can be 2-2 until Tony comes back.
Sure.
Nah, I'm gonna do you one better than that. When Tony is fully capable of coming back, I will have lost only one game. And Tony Romo, you're never, ever, ever, ever gonna see this job again. But they keep dangling the man around, they keep dilly-dallying. But you know what? Looking at him, he's built the right stuff. He's unflappable. So, Jerry, you can dangle this job. We might put Tony in, we might not. You can do all that. This kid's not budging because he's made of the right stuff. And so, you do you. If I'm Dak Prescott, I don't need to say anything. What do you think about you not getting support from me? I don't need the support. All I need to do is just keep winning games. Because how foolish would Jerry Jones look to replace this young man after what happened? And then Tony Romo gets in there and lays an egg.
Jerry does not care about looking foolish. He doesn't care what you think or I think or Joy thinks. He cares about that he owns the football team, and he has 3 rings already, albeit 20 years back that he was winning them.
But what does he want, Skip? He wants that one ring. Because at the end of the day, Jimmy, because, he won a ring with Barry Switzer.
He did.
But everybody says those were Jimmy players.
Yeah, but that was huge for his pride to win it with Barry Switzer.
Yes.
And it would be even huger for his pride to win it with Tony Romo. And I think he thinks that going into this is my gut feeling, and I know Jerry very well, that he thinks that the door reopened because of Mason Crosby's last-second field goal to reinsert Tony Romo back into the saddle and the lineup next year in training camp and see if they can go win a Super Bowl. Because clearly, with either Romo or Dak at quarterback, wouldn't they be one of the NFC favorites?
Of course.
They'll be up there.
But think about, let me ask you a question, Skip. Currently, how many teams have 6 Hall of Famers on their roster?
I don't know. I'd have to think through it.
Probably. Jerry's taking credit, but Jimmy got these guys. Emmett, Larry Allen. Now, Jerry did draft Larry Allen. But think about offensively. They had Troy, Michael, Emmett, Larry Allen, Hall of Famers. On the defensive side of the football, Charles Haley, Deion Sanders, and Darren Woodson is on the ballot for the Hall of Fame. So you had 6, potentially 7 Hall of Famers. So now, in order for you to get the credit that you so rightfully and want to deserve, you got all these guys that are here now. It's all Jerry. See, that's the ultimate validation. No matter what you think of Jimmy, how he ruined that situation, he picked Troy Aikman, he picked Michael Irvin, he picked Emmitt Smith, Charles Haley.
He didn't pick. Michael came the year before. But it's okay. It's okay. Yeah.
But when you got 4, think about it. Yeah. Tom Brady don't have 4 Hall of Famers on offense. Nobody has 4 Hall of Famers on offense currently, especially 2 at the skill. Now we don't know what Zeke's going to turn out to be, but he had 2 Hall of Famers at the skill position, a Hall of Fame quarterback. I believe Larry Allen might be the best lineman in football because he went to All-Pro at 3 different positions.
He did.
And then, look, what do I need to say about Prime? Nothing needs to be said.
Yeah,
Charles Haley.
It was just the 1 year, but that was the Barry Switzer year.
Yeah. And that 1 year, what was he won the Defensive Player of the Year with San Francisco.
Yep.
But Charles Haley got 5 Super Bowls, and he was a dominating force. In every Super Bowl winning team, he was a dominating force.
I'm here to say right here, right now, I think Tony Romo will be the starter in Game 1 next year for the Dallas Cowboys. And they'll put Dak on in mothballs. They'll just put him on the back burner. That's what I think is going to happen.
What would the notorious Cowboy hater Rob Parker say? No way, no how, Skip.
Well, obviously,
hear me out.
But I was campaigning back at last trade deadline to trade Romo then and see if you could get something to shore up this year's defense going forward.
You really don't think it's possible?
No, I don't think it will. Because you don't listen. You got to resist the temptation. And if any lifestyle guru, if you're trying to lose weight or you're trying to change your eating habits, what is the first thing they tell you? Get all the bad food out. If you keep Romo there, Skip, there will always be that temptation. The slightest sign of Dak struggling, what would be your put him in? So if he's not there, you don't have that.
I'm saying Romo will be the starter.
No,
and then the next question would be, how long will he last
Right.
as the starter?
He's gone. He's gone.
I hope so.
We'll see.
No mercy.
Welcome back. It's time to talk some hoops. Chris Broussard is with us, and we're joined by Grammy winner and friend of the show, Nelly.
Yeah. What's
Good to
happening?
have you back.
Dirty.
What's happening, Bruce? What's happening, big dog?
Man.
What's up, big homie? You all right?
Now we have a true Hall of Famer.
You all
at
right?
this
Get
day.
out of here. Get out of here.
He needs therapy. He needs
Yeah, I know. I've been watching.
Let's talk about last night's big game in the NBA. The Warriors blew out the Cavs last night in a rematch of last year's NBA Finals. Golden State lost 4 straight to Cleveland going into the game. Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant, and Steph Curry all scored at least 20 points for the Warriors. Chris, we'll start with you. What did last night mean?
Well, look, we saw last year that Cleveland can overcome this. Almost the same exact thing happened, but in Cleveland last year. Now, that said, I feel awfully good about my preseason pick.
You
the
did
Warriors.
pick Golden State.
They should be favored to win the championship. They're the best team, period. They got the most firepower. And I think this is what both teams can take from this. Number one, with Golden State, Steph Curry's the engine. All right, Kevin Durant may be the best all-around player, Draymond Green, the inspirational leader, but Steph has got to be aggressive. They can't let him be on the periphery of the offense, even if Durant has it going. Steph has to push the issue, play just like he did last year. Take those crazy shots, get those assists. He has to be the engine. For the Cavaliers, they have got to get back to who they are. They think now they're this finesse, three-point shooting team. They take the second most in the league. They got to get back to being a tough-minded, hard-nosed, defense-first team. They're like middle of the road in the league defensively. And they can outshoot everybody else, Toronto, Boston, the Clippers, maybe San Antonio, but they can't outshoot the Warriors. They're not going to beat the Warriors that way. I really think going forward, I'm not writing the Cavs off, but this is kind of their only hope. That LeBron James' greatness, he can muster up some type of performance in the finals where he lifts a team over a club that is clearly superior. That's their only hope, that his greatness and Kyrie's greatness can help them be the better team, because Golden State's better.
You buying?
Yes and no. Yes and no. I feel like Golden State did exactly what they were supposed to do, but I feel like Cleveland shouldn't take that, no personally than they did last year. I think Cleveland has a situation in what they do right now to where they're in their mode of, I don't want to say coasting to get to where they need to be, but they're just locked in their mode. You know what I mean? They go through the season, they win games that they feel that need to be, I want to say statements, a la Christmas and things like that. Like last night, I don't feel maybe it was a statement, but I also feel like Golden State definitely did what they were supposed to do last night as far as their confidence. I think if they had a loss last night, I think that would have rattled them a little bit. But, they showed up and showed out. And like he said, it has to go through Steph. It has to. He has to push the ball. He has to control the game from his tempo, but also allow Durant to be the person that he needs to be, but definitely through Curry's tempo.
It's really hard for me to judge the Cavaliers because as soon as the big three start to play really well together, one of the three gets injured. You see Kevin Love was playing, he was averaging 23 and 11. Yeah. Then he gets sick. Kyrie has the hamstring. Yeah. Now, J.R. Smith goes down early with the thumb injury. So now we got to get Kyle Korver. So now, okay, how do we ingratiate Kyle Korver into the offense when Kyrie's missing, when Kevin Love's missing? They don't have a big. Birdman goes down. The only big you really have is Tristan Thompson because when he goes out, you bring in Channing Frye. Exactly. Now, Channing Frye is only at an advantage if the guy that's covering him can't punish him down low because now you give up size in the rebounding department, the block shot department, and so if he's not hitting his threes, now you're at a disadvantage because now you just got guys that's offensively based. Yep. LeBron can't cover everybody. We know what Kyrie is. Kyle Korver, bless his heart, he tries, but he's deficiently challenged. And so until you can find a rotation, because how do you go now? Now Shump's in the starting lineup. Do you put Shump back on the bench and start Kyle Korver? Is Richard Jefferson still going to be the first guy off the bench? So how do you get a rotation? I think that's the biggest thing for the Cleveland Cavaliers. What's going to be our rotation? Does LeBron is playing entirely 2 minutes. He's playing the third most minutes in the NBA behind Zach LaVine and Kyle Lowry. LeBron James is 32 years old, but he has 35-year-old minutes on his legs. That's too many minutes, Skip, but that just goes to show you. This is why everybody says LeBron James should be the MVP every year. Because if without him, they're like a 7th seed.
So
Even
why
with Kyrie,
was he left in the game last night until 7 minutes remained in a game that was 35, 36-point lead?
That's a good question. I mean,
great one.
he shouldn't have been in the game.
You know why I think?
Stats?
I think Ty Lue looks at Golden State as having one Achilles heel, and that is, can they close even a 35-point lead? And there was a long stretch,
They got it to
late
like 20.
third, and
they
they went
played
over.
better.
It was almost 8 minutes that Golden State went without a field goal. Now, they're way up, but they couldn't score a field goal until Iguodala finally got loose for a little lay-in, right?
Yes.
And in that stretch, they cut it to whatever it was, down to
Like
20.
20, 22.
But I think Ty Lue is looking at a team that 2 Friday nights ago, at home, blew a 24-point lead, Golden State did, to Memphis, who can't really score. I mean, they're not like a machine,
No,
right?
no. Right.
Okay? And they blew a 24-point lead and lost at home because it's like, your turn, my turn. Who's going to close the deal for us? And you made the point last time we talked about this. Golden State had not beaten a good team yet this year, like an elite team yet. And so I think Ty Lue was sitting back thinking, are they starting to fold? I'm going to leave Braun and company in there. All the starters all stayed in. And Love's beat up, but still.
But he let him get too far out, though.
Yeah.
You can't let him get 35, 36 points out. Now, 18, maybe you can make a push, go to the fourth quarter under 10. And now you got something.
Well,
But
and
you
I
up
remind
30.
you, on Christmas in Cleveland, they're up 14 with
Yeah.
9.5 minutes
yeah.
to go, and they blew that.
Thinking some of that.
Right?
I mean, if you look at the Cavs, though, you mentioned Love and Kyrie, and this goes to my point in them getting away from who they are. Love has shot 36% over the last 12 games. Kyrie shot 41% over that stretch. They are getting too loose again. And you're right. Look, they're coasting. They've lost 3 or 4. It wasn't just yesterday. They haven't played well for a while. And they know they're going to win the East no matter what. And I do think they can turn it up in the playoffs. But Golden State is just stacked.
And another thing.
It's just stacked.
They're getting real loose with the basketball.
Yeah.
I mean, they're getting real careless. I mean, LeBron is getting careless. Kyrie, I think the hamstring is bothering Kyrie more than they're letting on. He's not even close to finishing at the basket like he was before this
Okay,
season
so he
happened.
and Braun had 6 turnovers apiece. You're going to probably lose that game on the road. But this is what shocked me. I lost sight of the fact that Golden State is leading the NBA in block shots, in steals, in deflections, which all
they're at the
contributes
top
to,
in defense.
to
Yeah,
fast
over.
break points. They lead in fast break points. And I got to give Kevin Durant a shout out today because I did not think he was capable. I said before the year, he's going to have to play some 5 for them because he's their biggest guy. He's their longest guy. Zaza's not that guy.
Yep.
And last night, I thought Kevin Durant was as active and dominating on defense and
Have
on
you
the
ever seen him?
backboards as I've
He was.
ever seen him.
Yes, I
He
agree.
was cranked for this game, man.
You could
And
tell they
that
wanted
block,
that game.
that block on LeBron,
Can we
he
see
needed
that?
that.
I got to see it again. I want to see it one more time. Can we see
know
that?
what,
Look at
Jeff?
this. Watch this.
He needed that block.
He did.
Because LeBron we've talked about, he's dominated
Well,
Durant over his career.
Yep.
So, look, I'm not saying
this.
he's better than LeBron or anything like that, but for his psyche, he
I agree.
needed that block
I
on
told
the cane.
Shannon early in the show, I told him, it was like little brother says, hey, I have grown up now, and you're getting a little old.
You know what's a little concerning, too, is the backup point guard position
For the Cavs.
for Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? It just feels like, when Kyrie's out of the game, I mean, technically LeBron James is your backup point guard, but even when you got to set them down, it's just, that Delamendova type of feel.
They miss him.
No confidence in, who the
And
backup
the thing
point guard
you
is.
can never rest these guys at the same time.
No,
One of them
you
always
can't.
have to be on the
Because you
floor
have no backup point guard.
Oh, who's going to score?
You don't have
Yeah.
But where do
They got 2 creators.
no
Think about this.
facilitator.
They don't have a first rounder until 2021. They don't have a second rounder until 2021. So what are you going to trade? You got to trade Shump. You got to trade some pieces.
I don't know. David Griffin always pulls a rabbit out of his
He
hat.
gonna have to
Yeah.
because they need a backup point.
Yeah.
What? Well, maybe you can buy a Birdman
Maybe.
and then try something from there. K. Felder.
They got a spot. They got a roster.
K. Felder is a 2-guard masquerade coach.
Oh,
When he
yeah,
comes
yeah,
in,
totally.
he getting up 6 shots.
Yeah, and look, in college, that's what he was. He
So,
was a scorer.
Chris Broussard, flop or no flop on the
flop.
flagrant? Flop. Chris
LeBron's
Broussard
better
says
than
flop.
that. He didn't
Whoa.
instinctive.
He flopped.
You think he didn't? Twice on Sunday.
That shouldn't have even been a flagrant. That should not have even been a flagrant foul. That's a regular foul. LeBron has been flopping his whole. Come on, we know
He's
that.
been flopping his whole career.
You know
Shannon
that.
Sharpe. You know that.
That was not a flop. That's my
trying to go
man,
back.
but that was clearly a flop.
Let me ask you a question. Where is the play
Look
on
at
the
that.
ball?
But where did the head go back
Exactly.
for? When nobody even touched the head.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
LeBron is 6'9", 260. Come on, man.
Look.
Call the ambulance.
You actually justifying that?
No, I'm not justifying what Draymond did. LeBron should have jumped up and like, you, hey, put the flag on it right quick.
He auditioning for the new
He got
Space
that
Jam.
Jim Brown in him when he, every
all
time
right.
he gets
Hey,
hit.
hey,
go down
man,
like it's the end of the world.
Wait, did you hear what Nelly said? It was a flop twice on Sunday.
Twice on Sunday. That was
Hold on. I'm reading the definition. Flagrant one is unnecessary contact committed by a player against an opponent. The player needs to make a play on the basketball.
reaching
Well, he
for the
admittedly
basketball.
said he's just trying to stop a fast break.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is the play on
But
the ball?
if he just grabs him, is that a flagrant?
They
He
call-
just kind of went into him and
the same thing. What did they call on Najee Muhammad in Chicago when he grabbed LeBron like that and he fell down? What did they call Chris
in
Broussard?
Chicago.
Yes.
But that was a flop. Was that a flop?
I'm asking you a question,
Was
Chris.
that a flop? What about
Yeah.
last year when Tristan Thompson,
That's
his teammate, hit
terrible.
LeBron? And he should have got fined for that.
Shannon, that's
His
terrible.
old man.
But did Tristan Thompson slap him in the face?
Yes.
Okay then.
But it led to all.
Oh, bro, like,
Boy, depending on the conversation, this table can get petty. Like, golly.
You know what?
I'm surprised you haven't chimed in.
Shannon, we should have
so we
somebody
know it's a
call the
flop, that's
hospital
why.
to check on LeBron and make sure he's okay, because is he in serious condition or stable condition?
You remember I told you.
Don't let her start talking about
Remember
LeBron.
I told you last
know,
year,
right?
you kept jugging at LeBron.
Yeah.
You kept asking
I
for
did.
it. I told him.
Yeah.
Came on his old show. I said, I'm going to the parade. Because he kept jugging at LeBron, kept poking him. LeBron said, I got something for him.
Yeah, what he got was Draymond called him a word that he deserved to get called last night after that flop, and Draymond got himself suspended for Game 5.
It's easy to pick on LeBron because he's low-hanging fruit.
How are you guys feeling about the finals? I know, look, it's one game. I don't want to make too much out of it, but how you feeling about the finals right now? The Cavs' chances.
Yeah. LeBron ain't going
You
nowhere.
asking him?
So they
about
they,
LeBron?
they,
Please.
all right, you still got them. What
The
about you?
reason I still like them, because it's a cakewalk in the East, and they're going to be rested, and I think if they can get Kevin Love healthy,
And Bron
they will
like
be
cake.
healthy. Yep.
LeBron like
He
cake.
likes cookies,
likes
is what he
cookies.
likes.
But I love
Little Halloween cookies.
I love how he always talk about Bron had a cakewalk, but Jordan couldn't do nothing with the big three in Boston. He couldn't do nothing.
Yeah, that was a
not
cakewalk.
talking about
bad
Michael
one got old.
Don't start getting
I give you
blasphemous
that.
in here.
There we
But
go.
you
Don't start
had
getting blasphemous in here. Let's start
Kevin
getting
McHale.
blasphemous.
Kevin
Don't start
McHale
getting
had a
blasphemous.
but you
in
have
here.
to admit, the East is a
Don't
cake.
start talking about Jeffrey.
Instead of Shannon Kyle
Thank you.
signing Kyle Korver, they could have signed you and still won the East.
Oh, you act like I can't score. I can do what he do.
Who that?
Kyle Korver. No, I'm just
They
kidding.
do have a cakewalk in the East.
Walk with Lane.
When you got
know that.
LeBron, everything is a
I agree.
cakewalk.
I agree.
Shannon, you
in the
did
East.
so well. Like a majority of this whole block, you were very objective. What happened?
Don't worry, Bron. Don't worry about it. I know your mouth hurt. He hits you in your mouth. Don't worry about
Get
it.
in the mouth.
Get him back. Get him back come June.
This is why I said if LeBron wins this championship and next year he could be the GOAT. Because this is an uphill battle in the finals.
That flop
a better team.
is why
Hold on, I gotta
he will
take
never
this out
be
my
good.
nose.
Just because of that
That
flop?
flop, that behavior
I agree
is
with
not,
you.
that is not available.
It's not
I know,
gonna happen.
skipped
I-
Junior
I-
on
thank you,
LeBron.
LeBron, for the two
Joy's
championships.
birthday,
and my
she gets
country.
the last word here.
Exactly. It's my birthday.
Joy
That's
ain't
how it
having
goes. The Warriors are back in action tomorrow against Russell Westbrook and the Thunder at Oracle.
Come on, Russ.
So that'll be a good game.
Put a
Chris,
50, 20, 30 on him.
Thanks for joining us. And be sure to check out Chris's
Wow.
new In the Zone podcast. It's available on iTunes and your favorite podcast platforms. No mercy. Matt Ryan and the Falcons have won 5 straight, while Aaron Rodgers and the Packers have won 8 in a row. Rodgers led the NFL in touchdown passes with 40, and Ryan came in second with 38. Nelly is still with us, and we're joined by Chris Carter. Welcome, Chris.
Good morning.
Morning.
Chris, which quarterback has the edge this weekend?
Well, I don't like the question because both quarterbacks are playing at a great level. I think that
It's our show, Skip and Shannon, Undisputed. Answer the question. Ain't know what you like or don't like.
I don't like the question.
I got you.
Because Aaron Rodgers has a built-in excuse not to play well. Playoff record right now, 9-6, going into 3 overtime games. He didn't get an opportunity. The way he's played at a level, he's got a built-in excuse. If he doesn't play well in the NFC Championship game, what are people going to say? He had a bad game. They're not going to say he's not clutch, he didn't perform. He's carried the team on his back. But Matty Ice, right now 2-4 in the playoffs. They're the number 1 seed. There's only 2 wins against Seattle. So can he use that as a springboard to win this game, win the Super Bowl? Then he's even Steven. He has the kind of resume that people are only going to respect him is if they win and go the whole way. So, of course, there's more pressure on Matt Ryan playing at home with all the weapons that he has going against the hottest quarterback we've seen in the playoffs in a long, long time.
And it's the last game that's ever going to be played in the Georgia Dome. And Aaron Rodgers has the edge because we've seen him go on these hot streaks before. When he won his Super Bowl, he went back and got revenge on every team that beat him in the regular season. And he says, okay, I'm going to pay you back. If you look at these guys, they played against each other in week 8. 7 touchdowns between the two, almost 77% completion. Nobody turned the football over. Now, look at these defenses. The Falcons, the 28th pass defense. The Green Bay Packers, 31st. So if you like offense and you like putting the ball up in the air, this is going to be a 42-45 or 41-38 type ball game. Matt Ryan, I believe, will win the MVP this year. And in order for him to get the ultimate validation, he's going to have to beat Matt Ryan. Because what better way to get to the ultimate goal, going to the Super Bowl, is to beat a transcendent great quarterback. And
Matt Ryan has to beat Aaron Rodgers.
Yes, if Matt Ryan can pull this off, this will be quite an accomplishment.
So you're leaning toward Green Bay winning at Atlanta.
Skip, I believe Aaron Rodgers is the best thrower of the football I've ever seen. I think he's the greatest quarterback, even though he's not going to be the most accomplished. But what I've seen from Matt Ryan, because I think Matt Ryan has more talent on his side of the football because they can run it. With Tevin Coleman and Devontae Freeman, I think the receivers, you can get a push out of that.
No. Julio Jones?
But I'm saying, you talking about just Julio. But then they come
Just
at you,
Julio?
But they come at you with Devontae Parker.
That's I feel you with that, but I'm saying for that to be a wash, there's no way Matt Ryan has his receiving core is phenomenal. Sanu, Julio Jones.
You like Green Bay ain't had a receiver to compare to Julio Jones since his brother played for him. Okay?
But
that's it.
Now, I don't believe
That's it. That's never a wash.
I don't believe Jordy's going to play. But I think the thing
With
is,
Jordy playing,
saying
he ain't
might.
got no Julio Jones.
No, I think Julio is the best receiver. But when you combine all of them with those running backs, you look at Atlanta's offense, there's a reason why they scored the 8th most points in all of football.
Right.
In the 97-year history. It wasn't, Julio is Julio.
Right.
And they got a great offense. But with the way Aaron Rodgers is playing, when you see a guy get like this for like an extended period of time, now he's been great his whole
He's
career.
trying to throw the quarterback into the equation.
I feel you, but Atlanta's D-backs are way better than the Cowboys' D-backs, to me.
And better than Green Bay's.
You see what I'm saying? Like, Atlanta's D-backs, I feel you, but Claiborne had a bad game.
Well, he got hurt.
He got hurt. He missed he missed 3/4 of the season.
Matter of fact, he's had a bad career.
And so you.
All right. You allowed to say that.
But he's leaving out used car. Anytime you need, if you want a touchdown or a pass interference, throw the 39. He gonna either hold you or you gonna give up a tub.
Now, what I think,
but Green Bay has nobody that could take the top off.
Skip, this is what I think. With Atlanta's defense, has more team speed through their safeties and their linebackers and can spy on Aaron Rodgers a lot better than Dallas.
Way better.
So
and they do have a Vic Beasley who can.
But he got hurt. But he got hurt in the game. So
I thought he was going to be okay.
No, Claiborne is.
Well, Claiborne tore his bicep.
Yes.
Right.
So he's done.
Okay.
So you got
Yeah.
I picked Atlanta, but boy, I hate going against that What is how you say the word?
Transcendental.
Transcendental.
That's the
that's
word he
not-
made up. What do you think?
Okay.
No, I definitely see where he's coming from. You always give Aaron Rodgers a gunslinger's chance, but I agree. Atlanta has way too many weapons. I don't feel like it's a wash at all. I feel like it's totally lopsided. I feel like Atlanta,
Lopsided?
as far as the weaponry on offense.
Well, if you bring the backs into the mix.
You have to bring the backs into the mix.
But what about Green Bay's tight ends?
Cook is great. Cook is good. Cook is good.
Real good.
Cook is good. But, I mean, at the end of the day, I think they can get to Aaron Rodgers a lot better than Dallas could. So
and they still
therefore,
have better
that's
safety.
timing.
They got better safeties.
Therefore, the
Atlanta does
timing.
than Dallas has.
Yeah.
Alford scares me because I saw Doug Baldwin cooking all day.
Right.
And the only thing is they got so far behind, but Doug Baldwin had his way with Alford. Now, that's going to be Adams probably in the slot or Geronimo Allison. Look for one of them to have a big – but I don't see a whole lot of interceptions. I see if you kick field goals, you're going to lose.
But so what do you
Boy,
do?
Geronimo, the game looked like it was too big for him.
You see Aaron Rodgers, he got released inside, he got pushed into.
Yes.
So you know what amuses me about this?
What?
Man Shannon Sharpe is going to be pushed deeper and deeper into the corner this week because he's been telling me how Aaron Rodgers is the greatest thrower of the football in the history of the National Football League, that he is
No, not this time.
transcendental, that he is special,
Very.
and he is so good that he is virtually invincible, and he can make chicken salad out of you know what. It
Yeah.
just doesn't matter. He can throw to all these receivers the way Tom Brady's been doing up in New England for a long time. He had Randy Moss for just a brief stint there, but that's all he's ever
Stay
had.
on track, Skip.
You know, Edelman, Amendola, who cares about that junk up there? But the point is, now all of a sudden, you've told me how great he is, and he doesn't really even need a defense. His offensive line is pretty good, though. I got to tell you, they have been blocking
Best
people.
pass protecting offensive line in the NFL.
It is. It is.
Bakhtiari.
It's become it. There's some bad boys across that front, but the point is, now you have to pick Aaron Rodgers. I don't care. It's the Atlanta Falcons. It's Matt Ryan.
But I
you
picked him,
can't
Skip.
trust him. You did. You picked him already to win the NFC. That was your second pick, your second go-around after you picked the Seattle Seahawks before the season to win it all, not just the NFC. But you jumped off that bandwagon onto the Atlanta bandwagon.
Richard Sherman
now,
started talking.
You're right.
man.
You're right.
When you start hosting your own show, you reserve the right to change your opinion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay?
Oh, you do.
Yeah,
But
when you host your own show,
somebody
like
across
when you're a
from
guest,
you-
you can't
You
do
need
that.
to do that now.
Somebody never flips over
Hold
on
on,
this
Skip.
side. I just hang in there
Hold on,
the
Skip.
whole year.
I'm going to let you finish.
He's wearing a blue suit
But you-
filled out until next
everything.
season.
But you always tell me
Yeah.
you can change your pick. I'm giving you this opportunity.
I do,
You
because
told-
it's you. You're a rookie here.
reserve
You know,
the
like,
right.
ooh,
It-
like
it-
this
it-
is all
right.
new for
Then
you.
I change my
Yeah.
pick. Then
Yeah.
you turn around and hold it against me.
Well, but I'm trying to bring you along slowly here. But now that we got to the playoffs, this is your first go around.
Okay.
And now you're going to be one and done in the playoffs because you're a rookie. You're like a Kentucky freshman
Who was he
because you've
rolling
already flipped your pick.
Seattle.
You know. So the point is, you got to stay with Aaron Rodgers now. You can't tell me how great he is and then say Matt Ryan is going to outduel Aaron Rodgers. I don't want to hear about
He's my
Tevin
neighbor.
Coleman and Freeman. I don't want to hear about them.
He's my neighbor.
Okay, well then you can't mix
You
your
won't be
emotions.
getting that
like
ball back.
Yeah.
So you want me? You want me to move out
That
of the
ball
neighborhood? You want me to
go over
move
the
out of
fence,
the
you won't
neighborhood?
get that
Care.
back.
He's a good guy. Matt Ryan's a good guy. He won't hold it against you if you pick Aaron Rodgers. I'm sure Matt Ryan's thinking in the back of his head, I can't outdo that
Yeah,
guy.
I think he's
Boy,
thinking.
please. That Julio. I'm
Julio.
just trying to tell y'all.
Putting the
Hey,
full
that Julio
court
Jones,
press on you
boy.
right now, Shannon.
Think about this. Look what Dez did to them that secondary in Green Bay. Do you know that Julio?
Julio
I'm
might have
telling
200
you,
yards.
Atlanta is
I'm telling you.
at all their skilled positions.
Julio might have 200
They're
yards.
better than Dallas. All right? They're all three receivers are better than Dallas. Julio's better than Dez. All right? Gabriel is better than Cole.
Okay, but I don't think
Beasley.
those two backs are better than this one back Dallas has. I
What
just
they do,
don't.
the 24 touchdowns and the
think so.
overall productivity.
Yeah.
And 85 catches.
Oh, I mean, that's hard to top that productivity.
Yeah, I feel you, but
And
not
Sanu is
not-
better than Williams.
I'll give you
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that's by far.
Tell me where I'm wrong.
Listen,
Hey,
Stop
that's
me when
not-
I'm lying.
Let me ask you a question. And to a low, it might be better than.
Then who? Jason Witten?
I ain't say nothing. I ain't called that man name.
What? The guy you can outrun
I
right
say
now?
to a low.
Not
Yeah, we can book that race because Witten is not playing
Yeah,
anymore.
he's
we can
free
book
now.
that
can make
race.
that happen.
That
He's
boy
even
like a-
thinking about
That boy like
retiring.
a Chevy.
Maybe we'll do
That boy
that
like a
in Houston.
Chevy pickup, man.
I run
He doing.
with dress shoes on.
Don't get ridiculous. Don't get ridiculous.
I keep telling y'all.
This might happen.
Jason
You don't
Witten-
know. I'm working on this. It might
Jason-
happen in Houston.
The only difference between Jason Witten runs as fast as he can. I run as fast as I want to, which is fast enough to beat him.
Oh, please.
See, you better tell him about
Boy,
me.
you off the chain.
You better-
Listen.
All I can tell him
You
about
off
is
the
the
chain.
old you.
Yes, exactly.
You off the chain. You
And now I'm
not
just
not
old.
this
Yeah.
old you.
ain't running
Exactly.
nobody down in them things you got on the day, baby.
No mercy.
Welcome back. On Sunday, the Steelers and Patriots meet in the AFC Championship. Big Ben is just 2-6 in his career against Tom Brady.
Time out, Joy.
Okay.
We have a change of plans. We actually have a little surprise for you. So just stop reading for a second.
Okay.
Since you was being all petty this morning.
Oh, look what we have for the birthday girl. We have a birthday cake. Happy
What is on
birthday
there?
to Joy.
Are those little tacos?
Little tacos. What's your favorite?
Thank you, guys. That's very sweet. I love tacos. Tacos are my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We had a little candle, but I think it already.
I got one out.
We
All
didn't
right,
make
we'll
it,
make one
so
out.
just do a little.
Thank you.
Thing.
Thanks, guys.
What was your wish? Tell us.
You can't tell it, then it doesn't come true.
Oh.
So, Joy, we also have a second surprise for you. Could you look
I'm
over?
not gonna lie, I'm a little bit nervous.
Could
right
you
now.
look over your shoulder?
Oh!
It's your brother, Jason.
Look at that giant head.
Wow. Yeah.
That's a big head.
Hi, Jay.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Joy. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
I'm a bad singer.
You are. You are.
So,
Thank you.
So,
I won't
Jason.
tell everybody how old you are today, but happy birthday. and I
Everyone
love you.
knows. Everyone knows. It's
Yeah.
right. I'm old now.
So, Jason, could you, it's Skip here with Shannon, but could you tell us just how impressed you've been with your quote unquote little sister's rise in the sports media business?
Well, first of all, Skip and Shannon, thanks for having me on the show, and good job by you guys. Continued luck with the show.
Thank you.
I've been very surprised. I'm not surprised. I've been very proud.
Yeah.
I mean, we all know that to reach any level of success in life, you have to take a lot of sacrifice and put a lot of work in, getting up at 2, 3 in the morning and doing radio and interning and all the things that she's had to do. So it's been a long journey for her. I won't get into the details because it was like this 8-year college plan, at 6 different universities or institutions. It was a long road, but she's finally moved to LA. She's gone to Hollywood now. And it used to be that Joy was Jason Taylor's sister.
Yep.
Now I'm officially Joy Taylor's brother, and I love it that way.
Any
Thanks, Jay.
Any tips or pointers you could give her?
Just approach every day like it's your first. It's like anything, whether it's sports, doing media, or working in a job as a CEO or as a teller at a bank, whatever it is, it's approach every day like it's your first and keep grinding. And the sky's really the limit. I mean, the success is really determined about how hard someone's willing to work. And that's kind of how I was throughout my career. And I think for me, it worked out to a level of success, and I think it works across the board.
Jason, Shannon Sharpe here. Obviously, you played against Tom Brady, I think, 21 times. You're from Pittsburgh. Obviously, the Dolphins. If you had to make a choice, which kind of way are you leaning earlier in the week?
I'm sorry, I missed the last part of the question.
If you had to pick, if I had to hold your feet to the fire, who you picking, your hometown team or Tom Brady?
Oh. Well, my hometown team is no longer my favorite team, first of all. Miami paid the bills. The Jets paid some of the bills. Washington paid a little bit of bills. But I lost to the Steelers in the AFC Championship game in 2010. And from that point on, I said I'll never be a Steeler fan again because I was too bitter. But this is a tough game to pick. I mean, you're going into Foxborough against a super hot Patriots team. And I really feel like Tom Brady's kind of been on a mission all season long. You know, we know about the crazy suspension earlier in the year for the deflated football situation or whatnot, but it's that football team coached by Bill Belichick in Foxborough with all this on the line in a level that Tom Brady is playing at, it's just really hard to pick against them in Foxborough. Ben's never beat him up there. And you know, the Steelers have a good football team. We've seen them kind of come together since Ben got back from his knee injury, but it's just, I can't see Pittsburgh going in and doing enough late in the game, I think, to beat the Patriots. I mean, I thought they got out of Kansas City luckily with a win, to kick 6 field goals, make a few stops on third down, but I thought Kansas City did more to shoot themselves in the foot than Pittsburgh did to really win that football game. So I'm going to have to go with the Patriots.
Jason, we appreciate you joining us today, and we love your sister, and we love you, and happy birthday to your sister.
Thank you. Thanks, Jay.
Thank you
Have a
very
tough
much.
day
Thanks for
out
having me, guys.
there. Tough day out there by the pool. Do some work or something.
Yeah, I'm going to go fish, maybe clean the boat a little bit, hit some golf balls, but someone has to do it.
All right, love you. The giant head.
All right, love you too.
I don't feel bad now.
No?
I mean, brother, she hadn't seen him in a couple of weeks, and the first thing she said, look at that big old head.
I know. We're just like trying to get it behind me. There we go. Thank you, guys. It was very sweet. I appreciate that. And thank you for my taco cake. I love it.
Got it.
No mercy.
Draymond Green was given a flagrant 1 foul when he collided with LeBron in the second quarter. Draymond then walked over to the fans and mocked LeBron falling down. After the game, Draymond and LeBron talked about the foul. Let's take a listen.
I fouled him to stop the break, and he went down. In the aftermath, I don't know, I told RJ to get on my face. Got a tag.
I think his shoulder hit me in the face, but it happened so fast, I didn't even know who it was. But I'm all right. I'm a football player.
Football player.
That was funny.
6'9".
Ask the question, Joy, please.
Was it a flagrant?
Yeah, it was a flagrant flop on the part of LeBron James. He should be now fined for flagrantly flopping because it was not a flagrant foul. And I loved it that Draymond Green immediately started clowning LeBron to the people in the front row, doing an exaggerated flop, because LeBron went down like he needed an ambulance to take him off the court. And that is exactly why Draymond called him very audibly the word that Draymond called him during Game 4 that got Draymond suspended for Game 5, the turning point.
Where did it get him?
Yeah, it got him down from 3-1 back to 3-2, and then we know the rest of the story. But it was because he missed that game. And you know what? Somewhere, Michael Jordan last night had to be watching this game.
Skip, can we skip?
No,
skip.
But you know what? He had to be chuckling over what is called a flagrant foul in LeBron's NBA today. The softest NBA we have ever seen, led by LeBron James, who then said after the game that Draymond's shoulder caught him in the face. And I've looked at it about 17 times. I think his shoulder caught LeBron in the chest because it was nothing but a hard common foul to stop an easy fast break basket by LeBron James. That's all it was just go shoot the free throws, whatever. And then LeBron said, he didn't even know who hit him. Baloney. He knew it was the one guy in last year's finals who dared to go up against the King physically and verbally. And then LeBron said, I'm a football player.
6'9",
You know,
260.
it dawned on me after the game, a football player. Well, the rest of the world calls soccer football, right? They call it their football. And LeBron is an owner of Liverpool Football Club over in the Premier League. So maybe LeBron was thinking of himself as actually a soccer player, because we all know soccer players invented and perfected flopping, and they take it as a point of pride to flop all through the soccer games that we see,
Well, maybe LeBron thought he was Tom Brady.
Tom Brady?
Oh, yeah, the way he was crying. Did you see the temper tantrum he threw Saturday?
Yeah, when he got cheap-shotted by Jadeveon Clowney twice, and finally they called it the second time. I was watching that game when he finally got a 15-yard flag because it was a cheap late shot by Jadeveon trying to knock him out of the game. I saw that.
He didn't. First of all, Skip, he did not. All he did was drag him down. But I noticed you said that Draymond committed a common foul.
Mm-hmm.
You never said he made any play on the ball.
It's what everybody does. You stop the fast break. You just get in the way.
Stop
the freight train.
Hold on. Flagrant 1, unnecessary contact committed by a player against an opponent.
That was necessary. That's part of the game. That's part of basketball.
You have to make a play on the ball, Skip.
He was going for the ball.
No, Skip. First, think about it. If you watch the video, LeBron is dribbling the ball in his right hand. Draymond is on his left side.
Yeah.
LeBron is getting ready to switch the ball to his left hand. So why would he pass the ball and go hit LeBron in the shoulder?
Well, he reached for the ball. He
Where?
reached back for it. He was reaching for it right there. Hand on ball. In fact, the hand touched the ball.
Skip.
Wow.
Skip.
Hand on ball.
He was on the side.
Thank you for pointing that out. I hadn't noticed that yet.
He was on the side in which LeBron was getting ready to switch the ball to.
But as LeBron switched, then he switched and went to his other hand to try to slap the basketball.
How about make a play on the ball?
How about flop?
You know what?
Shannon Sharpe, you being a Hall of Fame football player, you can't see that as a soft flop?
Because you know why? Because the same thing that you said about Michael Jordan and this NBA now, what do you think the quarterbacks are saying about the soft play? A quarterback getting protected in the NFL now?
I don't know. They see too many of them get hurt and knocked out of games because the game belongs to the quarterback.
See what you did there?
Is LeBron ever going to get hurt?
You see what you did there?
He's indestructible.
Superstars get treatment. They always have. They always will. Don't make it seem like Michael Jordan didn't get calls to go in his favor because he was Michael Jordan, because he did.
Yeah, in his day, they played football, basketball. That's what they played. It was man's game.
Call it whatever you like. LeBron gets calls, so did Michael Jordan. And Draymond Green did not make a play on the ball. He ran shoulder to shoulder into LeBron James. And then the problem that I have, and I don't have any problem with talking. I don't have any problem with anybody mimicking someone. But the problem that I have with the Golden State Warriors is that Klay Thompson want to take these little petty shots, or I guess he got his feelings hurt. And then when LeBron cooked him and put them cookies out on him, you remember LeBron had them Halloween cookies.
I love that.
Oh, LeBron's so childish.
Yeah, he got even with cookies.
Hold on.
Yeah,
just
that's
a
all
second.
you need to know.
Okay, Draymond did what he did. Now he goes down the court. But I found out, because I'm a storyteller, I tell jokes. Yeah. Jokes are only funny when they're about someone else. Oh. See, when LeBron starts cooking them and got it, and Klay, now all of a sudden Klay had nothing to say. But your day coming. Your day coming. And be careful what you wish for, because sometimes you can make your destiny on the very road you took to avoid it. Your day is coming, Golden State.
Really?
Your day is coming, Golden State. You know who and what the Cavaliers are.
Well, all I know is that last
0-2
night was not LeBron's night.
But you know what I find funny? Everybody talks about the Game 5 in which Draymond missed. Nobody mentioned Kevin Love missed an entire series. No one mentioned.
I mention it all the time. I say it all the time.
Let me finish my conversation, birthday girl. You know, no one ever mentioned that Kyrie got hurt in Game 1. No one
ever mentions. That's all anybody talks about for like 6 months.
Actually, it should be 0-2 Cavaliers. Cavaliers should be up 2-0 in championships.
I agree, because LeBron James was up 2-1 in his house for a Game 4. If you want to talk about coming up small,
and Steph Curry,
where are you, LeBron?
And Steph Curry was up 3-1 as the unanimous MVP, and you want to talk about small? Steph, Steph.
I agree.
Steph.
You know what? But he came up big last night.
Clay.
Yeah. It's a flagrant in today's NBA.
You know what?
Got me.
Today is Joy's birthday. Yeah. So if you want us to get balloons for the Warriors for winning a regular season game, I promise you I can send flowers and balloons to Oracle to make sure they receive them. But I tell you what, come June, all that key, and you do it right now. And Joy on her birthday, key, yeah. Oh, I see her birthday with Dwayne Wade, Betty Day.
I don't see how you can call yourself a football player and react to a hit like that.
Yeah, come on.
Hold on, that's what Tom Brady does every time. Tom Brady threw a tantrum like Grayson Allen.
Quarterback.
You didn't call it.
Yeah, he's throwing a football with people hitting him from the blind side, taking cheap shots. Really?
Oh, in football. Who knew?
LeBron never saw Draymond coming.
Hold up.
Poor LeBron.
Who knew in the game of football, American football, that people tackled? I did not know that. When did they start this, Skip?
You know what? Did somebody check on LeBron at the hospital last night? What's his condition now? Is he in serious or maybe stable condition or what? What's his condition? I want to know. Is he okay?
You remember I told you this same thing about your Cowboys. Laugh now, cry later.
Yeah.
He who laughs last, laugh loudest.
Shannon, you can admit that was a flop.
No.
Yes, you
Flop.
can.
No.
Flop.
You
Did you
can
see
be
him
objective
writhing
and
on the
admit that
floor?
was a flop.
Writhing.
He was not thriving.
Holding his face.
Skip, first of all, when you don't know the contact.
Planking is over. People don't do that anymore.
First
Someone
of all,
should tell him
if
that.
you do not know the contact is coming, those are the licks
He
that
ran
hurt you.
right in front of him.
No mercy.
This is the Skip and Shannon Undisputed podcast, where we're delivering you an unscripted, unfiltered, undisputed version of the biggest topics of the day's show. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, like us on Facebook at Undisputed on FS1, follow on Twitter at Undisputed, and catch us at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, 6:30 Pacific, Monday through Friday on FS1. You can find us on channel 219 on DirecTV, 150 on Dish. Thanks for listening, everybody. We have to leave all the debates there for today. I want to thank you all for your kind birthday wishes. Thank you so much. We're back tomorrow. We'll talk to you all then.
Fox Sports 1 of 1.